We are down to agenda item 6, our city manager awards.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. We're going to stay with the positive vibe here and the recognition that's going on and turn it a little bit more inward to the organization. And we very deliberately set this for tonight's agenda because, frankly, we wanted this council, the currently seated council, to be a part of this celebration and recognition. And we'll do this again next year and the year after. These employee recognitions have been profoundly important for us. There are so many things that give our employees the charge and the initiative and the feel-good about working for this organization, Team Flagstaff. One of those important things is employee recognition, and throughout the year, I think we do a lot in that regard, and never enough. And you hear about this every time we do the work anniversaries, which is during the work sessions. You hear about it in the manager's report, where we highlight the heroic events of our firefighters and police. All of the wonderful things that are happening in this organization, we try to articulate those on an ongoing basis, not just for you, but for the community that we all serve. But once a year, we get to take it to a higher level and offer up these awards. And it's fun doing so. And this one is kind of organic in that it's coming from within the organization. This is not derived from the city manager's office, even though we have the city manager's moniker on this. This is coming from within the organization. This is colleagues recognizing the accomplishments of their fellow colleagues. I have a script, apparently. This was my intro to the scripted part. So I want to start by saying thanks to the city staff, the family and friends that are present today to recognize and help us celebrate some of the excellent individuals we are lucky enough to have working with this organization. I'll note that all employees of the city of Flagstaff strive to provide excellent customer service in the programs and service that they provide to each other and to our community. But as noted a moment ago, there are some employees that go beyond the city's expectation and have accomplishments that deserve to be called out once a year. The extraordinary service delivery, the customer satisfaction, all of these attributes that we feel are important to recognize. Congratulations to all of the city managers award winners on your hard-earned success in showing how we achieve making the city better by providing service at a higher elevation. I want to quickly go over how we will recognize the awardees this afternoon. We will call out the nomination for the individual or group recipients, and we will share some information about the reason that they were nominated for this award. We're then going to give the awardee or a representative of the group, if applicable, the opportunity to share a comment or two, a little bit like what we just did with you, Council and Mayor. After all the award recipients have been introduced and provide a comment, we will at that time take a moment for a collective applause for everybody. And then I understand that after this wonderful event, we're going to take a break and have a little bit of a reception here and keep things kind of light, and then we'll reconvene, Mayor, and you can bring us back into city business. Do I operate the slides?
No, they're going to operate.
Next slide. Yeah, this is good. There are 3 levels in the City Manager's Excellence Awards. The first level is the Oak Award. There is an award given for each value of the city to an individual or group who stood out when providing one of the city's values. After the Oak Award, the next highest award is the Aspen Award, again provided for an individual or group who is outstanding for each specific value that will be articulated. And then finally, the pinnacle of the celebration here is the highest of the City Manager's Employee Excellence Awards. And that one just goes to one single employee, not a group, but just one employee who exemplifies the mission and values of the city to an extraordinary degree. The values that I'm speaking of have been long embraced by our city organization, which create the framework for the City Manager's Excellence Awards each and every year, consisting of the following attributes: accountability, communication, quality, leadership, and teamwork. This year, the City Manager's Office received 31 nominations and read through each to evaluate who would be recognized as this year's award recipients. Today, we will recognize 7 individuals and 4 groups to be awarded. I will present the awards along with the Deputy City Manager, Shannon Anderson, and Acting Deputy City Manager, Heidi Hansen. I want to note that much effort went into this, similar to the last recognition that we had. I'll call out Chris Rohde for his involvement in helping with the awards and many others. What is double-sided? Oh, you have got to be kidding. Yeah. Thank you. I haven't missed anything yet, frankly, because we're ready to start with the awards. The deputies, are we ready?
Yes.
Okay. Why don't the 3 of us gather up here?
Sounds pretty great. Should we turn this around?
Yeah. Yeah, similar to having Sterling up here, I'm comforted by having people at my side. And it's always a horror, especially in front of a big audience, when somebody tells you that there's something on the other side of the page that you just read. That said, I am on the right page here. We are going to kick this thing off. And as I mentioned, thank you, Chris. We'll go through all of these. We'll have people come up. We'll have some comments shared. And then we're going to try to wait till the end to do applause. We'll see how that works. Let's just say if applause breaks out, it breaks out, and we're cool with that. So we'll start out at the Oak level. And the first one is mine, and then I'm going to turn it over to Shannon and then Heidi. We're going to do this in tag team, and we'll try to do this in rapid succession here, but we want to give it the attention that it's due. The first Oak Award is for teamwork. The lead team that put the 10-year housing plan together, adopted by Council in February of this year, took on a daunting task and conducted a thorough and collaborative process in doing so. This inclusive process resulted in a plan being presented to the City Council for approval with buy-in that frankly was already reached from the numerous people and groups who have a stake in the housing in Flagstaff, and we have a lot of interest groups who fall under that category. It was not an easy task, the 10-year plan. It's been in the works for a while. Additionally, the plan contains realistic action items to address the housing emergency that was declared by Council in December of 2020. Leah Bloom was the lead staff person who coordinated the process and wrote the plan. Justina, who uses a Y in her name, Justina Costa, oversaw the process. She was involved in every outreach effort and was critical in reviewing the plan through the creative process. Jennifer Michelson greatly assisted with the data research and the analysis. Adriana Fisher coordinated the community outreach process and assisted in the review in the draft plan documents. So I'd like to call up the 10-year housing plan team to join us. While they're coming up, I will ad-lib a little bit here and note. We had the emergency declaration, we had the 10-year plan, All of these things have culminated in what was approved by this community just a month ago with the passage of Proposition 442. We will now see action being implemented in the years to follow. So not only is this a wonderful plan and a good embodiment of teamwork, but we have real tangible results that will benefit this community to show for it. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. The housing section is incredibly grateful, and this could not have been done without the involvement of every single department here at the City of Flagstaff, council support, and of course, our wonderful Flagstaff community. So thank you so much.
All right, so this next award is the Oak Award for Quality, and this goes to the House of Jacks. So congratulations to you all. At a time when national recruitment numbers for firefighters are at an all-time low, a group of Flagstaff firefighters took it upon themselves to create the House of Jacks mentoring program. This group helps prospective firefighters learn about the Flagstaff Fire Department, their culture, and mission. They guide apprentice members through the process of becoming a firefighter here in Flagstaff. They pass on the rich traditions of this fire service and lead apprentice members into becoming the best version of themselves. In the final interviews for the position of firefighter, several of these candidates have cited their time with the House of Jacks as adding to their desire to work for the Flagstaff Fire Department and contributing to the preparation for this position. For these reasons, we recognize David Ortiz, Jake Earl, Matt Smyers, Nick Ondrachek, and Will Ganola by presenting them with the Aspen Award for Quality. Oak Award for Quality.
I didn't know I was supposed to say anything. Just like a lot of things in Flagstaff, this was a grassroots movement. There's a culture in the fire service that we solve problems at the kitchen table. And this came about because of COVID. COVID closed our doors and made it so it was really hard for people to come and spend time with us. And as everybody knows, a fire station, a firehouse is our house a third of the time, but it's also the public's house. Anytime somebody knocks on that door, it's an honor for us to serve the public. And what I'll say is we have a culture in the fire service that we live our interview. I've been on the job for 17 years, and one of the things I said in my interview was just what's written on these posters back here. I want to make this place better than it was when I got here. And this group of guys sat at the kitchen table and thought this thing up, and I just stood there and watched. I said, how can I help? And that's one of the things that we talk about at my station is the phrase, how can I help, means so much. It means so much to the person that you're saying it to, and it means so much for us to be able to serve the community. So the House of Jacks is cool. It's given all of us a new purpose in serving the community. And what we want to do is raise good human beings. We don't care if they get hired at Flagstaff Fire Department. Matter of fact, this whole thing is a regional focus. We're trying to get people hired in this region. We want them to see how this is the best job that anybody could ever have. I'm sorry, cool job here too, but so we still have the best one. So my hat goes off to these four guys who have invested in the community, invested in people that are interested in our job, and shown them how cool it is. So, guys, thanks.
We'll get one.
Okay. The next award, Oak Award, is for leadership. And this award goes to Patrick Brown. Patrick Brown is tasked with handling all of the purchasing for the city. Even as his team has dwindled to small numbers, isn't that a nice way to say that he is sorely understaffed? While the projects keep rolling in, Patrick continued to build those around him to be the best they could be. It doesn't matter the amount of work or size of the project, his ability to instill confidence in his team has allowed them to keep moving forward. Thank you, Patrick, for your leadership and for taking my calls and emails.
I think I still owe you a few. Like the saying goes, you're only as good as your staff. The only reason I have this is because I have a phenomenal staff. I wouldn't be half the leader I am today without them, but I am so honored to be awarded this. I'm surprised, too, that I got awarded this. I thought I was going to be part of a group, but very pleasant to get this, and I'm honored. Thank you.
I'm just checking to see what the other side of the page says. Let's get rid of it. Greg, you're up.
See how that works. The next Oak Award goes to communications. And this one goes to Scott Klotz. Am I pronouncing that correctly? Yeah, thank you. Scott Klotz has gone above and beyond in his position as meter technician with his fellow workers and with our customers in the community. When he makes contact with the customer, he will take extensive time to talk with the customer, show them about the meter and how it works, walking the property with them, giving suggestions on what could be causing high consumption. He even takes extra steps to reach customers who may not be full-time residents so that they can discuss whether water should be shut off to the property to avoid any more damage, just in case something may be leaking inside the home. This is hugely important. So Scott, are you here to join us? He's sick today. I'm sorry to hear that. Scott is home ill today, but that's not going to stop us from giving him a big round of applause here. Thank you.
Okay, the next Oak Award is for accountability, and this will go to Emily Markle. I absolutely love this picture of you, Emily. Emily Markle took on quite a workload burden when 2 senior purchasing positions became vacant. Other than the purchasing director, Emily is the only senior buyer able to process formal solicitations and complex procurements. Generally, this work is done by 4 senior buyers, and Emily is performing the duties of 2 to 3 of those 4 senior buyers. Along with the heavy workload, Emily has also taken on the role of acting purchasing manager, responsible for the day-to-day operational needs of the purchasing staff. She is also on the fleet committee and greatly assists the purchasing director, Patrick, with emergency procurements during the summer floods. While fulfilling these roles, she has demonstrated a high level of accountability and has gotten the reputation of being a solid team player with any procurement she touches. Thank you, Emily, for such hard work this year.
So most of you know my vernacular, and I'll be very cautious with this. Thank you very much for allowing me the opportunity to step up. I always wanted to do more for my city, my community. and my team. And this year, I was afforded that. So I thank you, Patrick, and I can't do any of this without the entire staff for the city of Flagstaff. So thank you.
Greg, you're back up. That's Greg. Yep. It's gonna be 2 pages.
You gotta be kidding.
No, I guess it's just that one.
Oh, yeah. I actually asked to take this one, not so much out of personal interest, but because it's something that I had the opportunity to witness firsthand and saw the many amazing actions by several employees. We're going to have a little bit of a group here, so maybe I'll offer my comments, and then we'd like all of you to get up here so we can honor you properly and have a few words. This one is not scripted. The Dortha flood mitigation project happened, actually it's been happening over a couple of years now, but it came to culmination this year with a lot of effort. We all know about the flood events out off the Dortha, in the Dortha area, the Spruce Wash in particular. And I don't have to offer a lot of elaboration about that. It's been very visible to the community. I think what has not been so visible is all the work and collaboration that has gone into the mitigation work that started some time ago. Of course, I'm speaking in addition to all the efforts that we heard about earlier with the sandbags and the community volunteer efforts, which have been amazing, truly amazing. But now we're talking about the projects that will work immediately and into the future to help mitigate flood events, not to stop them from occurring, but to lessen their impact. And that is just so profoundly important for our residents out there in Sunnyside and neighboring areas. The remarkable thing about the mitigation that occurred this year is the expediency by which it occurred and the collaboration and partnerships that came together to make it happen. Very seldom in this business do large projects occur without a lot of planning and procurement and engineering and capital planning, 5-year plans, 10-year plans, and so on and so forth. That's generally the realm in which we operate. But we did not have that opportunity here with the urgency of these improvements and the fact that the flooding was having continuous impact. And it's not the end of the projects that will be occurring, but it's a wonderful start. The flood mitigation projects that occurred this year specifically included work within the Dortha channel improvements, significant improvements to a drainage channel that frankly has been left somewhat dormant for decades. And that was never designed to accommodate the flows that we are now seeing in these flood events. Along with that, a related or companion project was the Killip School Detention Basin, which was never on the planning table. It came about through good, creative thinking, engineers putting their heads together, trying to figure out the many pieces to this puzzle, trying to figure out how to make these improvements work over time. We worked in tandem with the FUSD, the Flagstaff Unified School District, on that project. They had a new school they were building. Along with that school was a couple of competitive sports fields. We saw the opportunity to see those fields work in more than the capacity of competitive sports and serve potentially as detention basins when needed. And in collaboration with the school district and its leadership, we put together a program that came together within not years, but months. No funding had been in place for that. We did not have a plan. We just had a lot of people with a lot of desire and focus and ambition. So those are the projects that have occurred, and as I mentioned, it's the start of a long, long journey, but it deserves special attention here. And I don't mind at all giving you the narrative that I just did, but I can't impress upon you enough how amazing it is that these projects came together in the short time frame that they did. So I'd like to call up members of the Dorotha Flood Mitigation Team, Gary Miller, Ed Schenk, Christine Cameron, Bryce Doty, who I think is home with a new baby, but we want to recognize him just the same, Adam Mealy, Kevin Finsel, Scott Overton, Trevor Henry, Ben Jones, and Doug Slover.
Can I clean it? Thank you. I think on behalf of this team, frankly, we did have a good year, and I think the takeaway really is the compassion for our residents in the Spruce Avenue wash, and post-wildfire flooding has been real. It's been impactful. We dealt with Pipeline West this last year as well, but credit to this team getting started. We've involved literally dozens more city staff. We're just getting started. We've got a good 3-year book of work coming up that's going to be pretty impressive to deliver, and I only count on this team and the rest of the team that can deliver it, and Mr. Clifton said it well, and these couple projects really started off strong, but I think they set the tone and what we have to come in the next 3 years through Spruce Wash. Credit to the voters for giving us the support and the confidence to deliver these projects and these improvements. Post-wildfire flood mitigation is going to be with us for a while, but this group's committed to seeing them through, and I hope we're in a much, much better place as a community in a couple of years. So thank you. We appreciate the recognition and great work by all of our teams.
Okay. Next is the Aspen Award for Quality, and this goes to Sean Armour. Sean Armour has been a major player in the police department IT transition. Sean has established a new after-hours on-call support system complete with shift rotations and software to automate after-hours contact. Not only did she build the system from the ground up, wow, but she also put herself on the first rotation and built documentation for the rest of the IT team on what to expect and how to solve common problems. Sean has shown that she will go above and beyond time and again. We value her on our IT team, and I can tell you that her director, CJ Perry, shared with me a lot about what Sean has done to help the police department on this transition, and so I too want to thank Sean for all of her work. Is Sean in the room today? Come on down.
Thank you, everyone. So greatness doesn't ever exist in a vacuum. I have my entire IT team behind me, supporting me the entire way. I specifically want to mention and celebrate Adam Zwepty and Dale Williams and Alan Church. They work with me side by side, day after day, and are my right and left hand. I also want to thank my family for supporting me through all of this. And I can't impress enough upon this room and our community of Flagstaff how awesome our public safety departments are. Without their support and their understanding and kindness, it couldn't have been done the way that it was. So thank you, everyone.
All right, so this next award is the Aspen Award for Leadership. We will be recognizing Miss Sarah Dar. During the award year, Sarah has led our housing on a number of major initiatives. Her team led a community effort to write and adopt the 10-year housing plan, respond to numerous funding opportunities, and guide council decisions, engage and mature the Housing Commission, and support the housing bond question. Sarah completed a reorganization which was multiple years in the works. She successfully implemented the reorganization and has seen key positions in the Housing Authority filled, including a new maintenance supervisor and team members. Sarah's always thinking about how to move the section forward, deliver services more efficiently, use funding wisely, which all results in helping more residents of Flagstaff. Her hard work has resulted in permanent affordable units that would not be delivered without her skill, ability, and dedication. More people have housing in Flagstaff because of Sarah Dar, and she is the city's Aspen Awardee for Leadership. Congratulations, Sarah.
Oh, by myself? I was waiting for Shannon. We're doing the dance. It's weird to stand there and listen to people say nice things about you when you really feel that it's your team that has those accomplishments rather than you as the leader. I'm incredibly honored to be nominated and to receive it, but Patrick stole my comment, which is you're only as good as the team surrounding you. And I don't know if you've met the housing folks, but they're pretty phenomenal, and it is a pleasure to work with them and to work with City Council to bring more accomplishments to our community. Thank you.
One-sided next year. This is like stressing me out. Just kidding, Chris. All right, the next award is the Aspen Award for Communication, and I am super stoked about this one. When we looked at several awards that came in for efforts that people did to help with recruitment for the city of Flagstaff, we decided that we couldn't just recognize one team or one individual, so we are recognizing a group of individuals and some other teams that have done some things separately, but it all has gotten us more employees. This group of communication experts really worked hard on several levels of recruitment this past year. Part of the group displayed major teamwork while creating a quality campaign for our organization. This campaign included several aspects of media: print, digital, website, social, and video. They spent months, I'm talking months, creating the advertising headlines, having photography shoots with our own employees, developing video content, and much, much more. This team not only maintains the media assets, but they also are working with Flagstaff Business News to sponsor a now hiring section that offers discounted ads to all businesses who are hiring. This collaboration not only shows that the city of Flagstaff values hiring our own positions, but realize that the economy of our community is contingent of putting all people to work. This group met weekly for over a year and continues to do so to ensure we brand the city of Flagstaff as a cool place to work with cool people. I'd like to also thank many other staff that offered to be in our videos and photographs so we could use our real team in the media that our outward and inward-facing people see. The other part of our communication team comes from work that was done to recruit our police department and work done to do salary calculations for new employees. Officer Kim served on the police department's first ever recruitment team, which was designed to mentor potential applicants through the hiring process. Officer Kim emerged as the leader of the program and served as a mentor to many police recruits in the academy who had successfully completed probation. In early 2022, Officer Kim was selected as the department's first ever recruitment officer. His perseverance in communication led to the hiring of 19 police officer recruits in 6 months of work. He created an environment that was professional and inviting for potential new recruits. He stays in constant contact with all police officer recruits while they attend police academies around the state. Officer Kim also goes and visits out-of-town recruits to keep them motivated and aid them with the stressful academy process. Now we have Jessica. Oh, Jessica, we're going to miss you in HR. She developed an interactive process with hiring managers to review salary and vacation calculations before employment offers are made to prospective city employees. She works hard to teach and bring trust and credibility to the complex nature of classification and compensation as part of the recruitment process. It takes people across the organization to make recruitment effective. So the team that I talked about for the City of Flagstaff recruitment team, I'm going to list your names. And then, of course, we want Officer Kim, and we would like Jessica Vigorito to also join us. Trace Ward, Lori Pappas, Ralph Schmidt, Barney Helmick, Jessica Kittleson, Amy Hagan, Jennifer Caputo, Samantha Victor, Sarah Langley, Charles Hernandez, Stacy Fobar, Annika Hudlow, Kyle Kuzminski, and Elijah Kim and Jessica Vigorito. Please all come up here and crowd the stage.
They want me to say something, so I'm going to stay here. We have one more, I think. Yes. Hi, everybody. So just a quick note on these guys is that the dream team's here for sure, so I'm speaking for them, and this is where all the hard work was done. The dream team was procured by Heidi Hansen's leadership. I just wanted to say that. So our mission was to fill open positions, definitely, but equally important, it was to brand the city as a great place to work, to play, and to live and raise your family. So what we do and what we've been doing is not a sprint, it is definitely a marathon. So the marathon continues. Thank you.
All right, so this next one you've heard a little bit about already, but this is the Aspen Award for Accountability, and it's going to Captain Mike Feltz. Captain Mike Feltz volunteered to take on a brand new project in the care unit with the Flagstaff Fire Department that's had a huge political, community, and organizational impact. His personal involvement and program oversight turned the project from a concept to boots on the ground to a reality. Mike put in countless hours on duty, off duty, and then twice moved to a 40-hour work week to support the program's success. This program included a significant change in the way assigned firefighters perform their job and work with partnering agencies. Mike worked with dozens of internal and external teams from various professions and groups to help set up the foundational functions of this unit. He worked with our partnering agency, Teros Health, on the how, the when, and where for the unit, along with roles and responsibilities. He worked with the 911 dispatch center to establish protocols for use and response on the various types of 911 non-emergent calls. He also trained expectations and response protocols for a very different type of response unit. Captain Feltz exhibited the core values of Team Flagstaff as he worked to implement a change in how service was delivered. Congratulations, Captain Feltz, on your Aspen Award for Accountability.
Gosh, I hate this speech part, but first and foremost, I think we need to thank the council up here for having the vision of the care unit. I was just on the boots on the ground to actually make the thing happen. So it also wouldn't have happened without the support of the firefighters on the fire department side of things for actually getting out there and doing a good job and doing the work that we need to make the unit successful. And then again, as Shannon said, that the Teros side of things, the relationship with Teros has been amazing in making this thing happen, and it's been an up and down roller coaster, but we're making it happen, and it's only going to get better from here. So thank you very much, everybody.
Tricky piece of paper. All right, so this is the finale. This is the Ponderosa Award, and this award goes to Lieutenant Colin C. Lieutenant C is consistently looking for ways to push the Flagstaff Police Department to be better. Some examples are working with others on competitive pay and benefits and ways to attract more qualified candidates to the department. He is responsible for many programs such as the Regional SWAT Team, Bomb Team, Negotiation Team, Rapid Response Team, and public safety oversight of special events such as our 4th of July, New Year's Eve, and Tequila Sunrise. He has responded to several SWAT callouts and is instrumental leader on this team. He developed many incident action plans for several protests and civil unrest demonstrations. This included the development of the Rapid Response Team and the grants to get the gear that's necessary for this team to operate. Heidi?
He's also served as the acting deputy chief over operations. He brings a high level of positive energy to the department and is seen as a mentor to others because of his knowledge and work ethic. Employees reach out to Lieutenant regularly, and he gladly helps them by providing excellent customer service to all. He has demonstrated an ability to lead people and to produce quality work.
One of his biggest accomplishments during this time frame is the successful launch of the first police academy in Flagstaff. Lieutenant Say conducted extensive research on other academies, met with other academy leadership, and obtained training lesson plans and procedures for running an academy, Lieutenant C. He took the best of the best from this research to create the Flagstaff Academy and met with Arizona Post To complete the inspection process, he took control of the project, meeting with the Coconino Community College staff to solidify the partnership. And then he selected the class sergeant and recruit training officer to ensure the success of the academy, along with the development of the 21-week class and instructor schedules. With his outstanding leadership, this academy began its first class in October, just 2 months ago. I will say that I had the honor of going out and touring the facility out there at the community college and seeing your handiwork in play. What a wonderful facility, but what's more notable is what this does for the Flagstaff community. Bringing the Academy for Training home to Flagstaff, our officers, our potential officers, our candidates to be officers, used to travel a great distance for considerable time to undergo this training. Now they stay home. That affords them the opportunity to have training in an environment of which they'll be serving through time. So it's profoundly important for that to happen. And it's a wonderful, wonderful achievement for this community as a whole to have this academy here in partnership with our community college. Lieutenant, this has been an amazing accomplishment. And here you are, a recipient of the highest level of excellence award being given out today, and one that you so much deserve. So thank you for all your efforts, and let's give the lieutenant a big round of applause.
Wow, thank you, sir. Thank you, city leadership, for considering the nomination, and I think my boss wrote this up, so I want to thank him too. I didn't know there was a speech part of this, but while I was standing back there, I just wanted to think about what I love about this job, and I love every morning getting to wake up, put my uniform on, and to get to come to serve the community and the men and women that I get to work with. I love my role within the police department, being on the command staff. What that is, we kind of make the decisions for the entire agency. And I've always wanted to get into leadership, but when I got on there, I always said, I want to do things that I've always wanted to get done, within the police department. And one of those projects was the police academy, our rapid response team, our SWAT team. So, I always wanted to do that and push those programs further, and it's an incredible honor, and thank you. And I want to thank Chief Police, Chief Musselman. He hired me in 2006. He gave me a great opportunity to become a police officer for the city of Flagstaff, and I think I'm a guy that comes to the table and I have a million ideas and a million things I want to do, and Mr. Clifton recognized a few of those. And he really gave me a lane, opened the door to allow me to pursue some of those projects, some of the freedoms to get some of these things done. So I'd like to thank Chief Musselman too. So thank you.
Lieutenant C. If I ever get through one of these things without mispronouncing somebody's last name, it'll be nothing short of a miracle. Adam Miali, I owe you an apology for slaughtering your name earlier. Lieutenant C, we are grateful, and congratulations to you. Congratulations to all of the recipients. And as I noted at the outset, and as I will note as a closing comment, this is a wonderful event. It occurs once a year. We look forward to this. We look forward to breaking away from the week-to-week rigors of our council meetings, just to take pause and reflect back on the past year and the many, many accomplishments. And you have had the pleasure of hearing not just the accomplishments of our wonderful elected body, but now the accomplishments of our wonderful staff as well. So thank you for being here today to honor and recognize these outstanding efforts. We really appreciate the attendance. It's a large crowd today, and that just means so much to us. I think, Mayor, I'm going to turn it back over to you, but we'll note that we are set up to have a little bit of a reception now, and we can all enjoy some refreshments and some beverages, and maybe further this fun celebration and recognition in a more informal matter. How about one round of applause for all the recipients who've been recognized?
Thank you so much, City Manager. These awards really represent the values and the hard work and dedication that so many of our employees show for our community, and we should all be so appreciative for their work. With that, I think we're ready to recess for reception and lobby. And I am getting a note from my wife that today is my son's birthday, and he's been in the crowd for these award ceremonies, so... And he's really embarrassed by saying that, but I had to do it. Anyways, we are ready to recess for reception in the lobby. Agenda item 6.